Right, welcome to another video. Today we're looking at the cheapest soldering iron you can buy in the UK off Aliexpress. Right there. There it is. Well, that was actually, that's not the picture for it, but I ordered this one. He's going to open it up for me. That was it. JCD, £18.61 is what I paid, and it didn't turn up. So that wasn't available, that's not the cheapest. So we went for the next one, which was £15.57, a total amount of 30 quid. It didn't turn up. So then we went for this one at £37.96 for a soldering hot air station. And it's here. So this is the cheapest one I can buy and actually have arrived. So let's call it £38 delivered. So let's see what we get in the box, because I haven't really looked at it yet. I've looked in there, see, but I haven't got it all out yet, as you can probably tell by the way it's packed. A bit more light. So you get a manual in Englishy kind ofness, not quite. A power cord, which is the wrong one, so that's no good. Oh, it's got that aroma, you know, the one, if you buy stuff from China, electronics, you know what I'm on about. So we've got this extend, just got a slightly piece of tin on one to give it some weight. Probably fill this with some kind of nuts or bolts. We've got the actual iron. So let's have a look at it. Get out the bag. Of course everything's got to be in its own plastic bag, because we couldn't possibly just put it in the box. Yeah. How much cable do you reckon we've got on this? Enough to make it worth it? There we are. So yeah, a good length of cable. That's what we say, 1.2, 1.3 metres. Probably comes with a tip on it. That's, yeah, some useless chunky tip. These are can't remember what they're called, but they're the easily interchangeable tips you can get. I'll find out now. They are right. So they are 10 pack of soldering iron tips, £9.95, and they are the 900M tips. I think I need to go find them. Okay, I need to go find them, but there's something like that. I think I've got this selection pack of all different ones, even though there's only actually like one or two that I'm going to use. So yeah, I've nearly paid a quarter of the price of the whole soldering iron on just some spare tips. Either way, we should carry on for now. I'll find the tips later. So you put that in, and you've got this bit which probably is supposed to stay on there. So that go back together. Why is it not it's not going back together? What have I broke? So that's supposed to go inside of that. I'm now confused because it doesn't want to go back to that. Went that way, didn't it? That goes slightly inside, I think. I think that's how that works. Either way, carry on. You get one of these weird forky type things, which I still really haven't worked out what the idea is. If you know, put it in the comments. That's the bracket for the heat gun. Obviously 2 screws is enough to do that for. Got a metal tray thing. The actual soldering iron rest. Does that tray go in there? No. This obviously fits on here somehow. Does it go that way? It does. So yeah, so there's your iron rest. Seems to work quite well. Holds it in there. Doesn't let it touch anything. Yeah, we can live with that. Lots and lots of heat gun tips. Yeah, good variety. You probably just pick one and that'd be the one you always use. And here's the heat gun. pretty much the standard one you see that come with everything. I suspect this probably got the same length of cable. There we go. Yeah, exactly the same. Good length of cable. Bit of strain relief. Not really proper strain relief. These are good overmolded plugs. The plugs are different, so you can't get those wrong. Oops, sorry, give you a kick. Let's get you back over there. Yeah, these. Just try one. Go for a common size. Once not the difference between those two really is. Let's have both of those. Just two of the same. I don't know. They just push on. Not going to fall off, so yeah, that's pretty good. And the main event. Oh, not a lot in this. It's got a bit of weight, but not as much as you'd hope. Quite happy to see it just as a standard kettle lead. So this is the Lefavor 8586. So we've got temperature, airspeed, I'm going to assume air temperature. Two separate power switches. Should we get a cable and plug it in and see what it actually does? Lefavor, quality assurance and reliable quality. And yeah, that's basically it. What's loose inside of it? Oh, it's the buttons. Good, there's nothing wrapping around inside. Let's get rid of all the plastic and everything we don't need, like that weird thing that I don't know what it's for. Let's power it up. Right, so I've clicked on the illuminated switch on the back. It is off. OP. Let's plug in the soldering iron end first. Goes into the 3-pin plug. Op. This probably means I've already broken it. Good quality screw-on connections. Doesn't seem to want to thread on. Really? Yeah, they're good. I'm going to have a fight with this, I think. It doesn't appear to want to engage. It's on, I think. Oh yeah, this one's got more pins. Same system. Does this one go? But it's gone to off now. Probably shouldn't be trying doing this while it's turned on, but I'm gonna try it out, haven't we? So the thingamabob for the heat gun rest can be screwed like that. Like that. The screws are on the side. Hold on. Let's turn it off and the screwdriver. Find a screwdriver. Right. So the screws are free. I still don't know what this is for. Ah, does it go in there? There we go. Sits in there. Kind of. Go the other way. There we are. It fits in there. Has one screw hole which does not, obviously isn't used. Either way, we are going to attach the thing. The screws just come thrown in the side. This will undo it so it falls apart inside. Front is actually holding it together. No clunks. That's going to go like that. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad, does it? Actually tapped holes because they hadn't used self-tapping screws, so somebody's had to do a tiny little extra bit of work. Don't do it too tight because it'll probably break. Right, there we go. Let's sit her down. That should sit like that. This is just going to sit next to it. There we go. There's our soldering iron set up. Right, power on. So, power's on. This control is for the soldering iron then, I guess. And this one's going to be for the heater. So when we pick this up, away it goes. Yes, you'd have thought they'd that smells like hot. Right, might have lost the end of that recording because I dropped the camera down and it just went off. So you put the thing down and it just turns itself off. This is the fan speed control. So you can have it whacked right up, and as soon as you pick it up, it's going to say 350 and it's going to climb very quickly. And yeah, that works quite well. And when you put it down at the right angle, it should start cooling down pretty quickly. Which is good, we like that. I'm guessing the red light here means the soldering iron's up to temperature. I have some decent quality solder, some Loctite or multi-core as it used to be called. Yeah, that works. So yeah, we're away. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and use it, haven't we? We turn the power off to that and that. It should leave the fan running. The power switch is off, but the fan's got to run to cool this down. I expect it's going to get to 100 and then just switch off. So we soon see. Yeah, thinking about it. Yeah, it's cooling down. I'm going to find some heat shrink. I know I've got some somewhere. Anyway, let's do some soldering and see what the actual soldering iron's like. Should be quite good. So, we'll leave that for a minute. Right, we're starting to get that odd smell in the air. I've got so much junk on my desk at the moment. The odd smell of new electronics. Now I took a seat because we're going to do a bit of soldering. We're going to try this out on this circuit board. So I think that switch is, yeah, that's the soldering on. The heating side can stay off for the time being. It's annoying having it sat right here, but it works well for what we're doing. Who keeps messaging me? It's Aliexpress. So load the app up, you've then got to have loads of spam notifications. So the soldering iron's winding up. Let's get ourselves in a bit so we can see. There's what we're focusing on. And we want to see how well it does. So I'm going to be working, hello, we're going to work along this row and just solder these diodes onto this board. This board's not really one I plan to use very much. Well, it's just one of those boards knocking about but I've never got round to finishing. Hello, there we are. I'm going to try and do this in such a way that you can see, because that does actually help, doesn't it? So soldering this one, there we are. Right, so is this tip going to work for us or against us? It's doing the job. How can I do this in such a way that you can probably see better? Oh yeah, there we are, try it here. Yeah, it's a soldering iron. It does soldering iron things. And whenever you move away, you enter this huge blobs of solder. So you can see we're leaving huge globs of solder all over it, which isn't any good. That's not what I want. Oh, we're getting through to the other side. Not really. We're just blobbing solder on. Now, I'm not saying that's the iron's fault. That could be my fault. It probably is my fault. What we need is a better tip for it. So turn the heater side of the soldering iron off. And I best go find the other tips. I think they're in the van. So, one moment. So, it's been so long waiting for this soldering iron to turn up. I've lost the tips. I've lost my £10 pack of 10 tips. I don't know where they are. Are they at work? Are they here? I don't know. So that kind of ruins that for us. But wait, there's more. I'll just get right in your face there. I've found some heat shrink. So, should we try out the shrinking capability of it? Let's move my beer. Hold on. It's gone 6, it's beer o'clock now. And zoom down on my grotty soldering / mouse mat. Lift up our heating gun. I'm a bit mad there, aren't I? We're going to try out 350. Yeah, that works good, doesn't it? It's fast. That's on maximum airflow. What if we put the temperature right up? 480. See how quickly it goes now. Yeah, that works really well. I'm going to turn it down. It doesn't need to be that high. It's just working it hard. So yeah, heat gun side of it works. Quite impressive. Mind you, this is just they're pretty standard, these little heat pen things now. So yeah, it can shrink down, heat shrink pretty quick. Even the bigger stuff. We can get some bigger stuff. Just set the smoke alarm off. Alright. So it's heating up, it's back up to 300. Let's try some slightly larger stuff this time. Going to make it work a little bit hard. It's still only on 350 and we're still only using a very small tip. But it's doing it, it's fine. Obviously it's just going to take a bit longer. So that worked pretty well. This is not cheap heat shrink, this is decent thick stuff. Nice thick. Yeah. Can't really complain too much about that. Everything works. The actual thing sits in its stand quite well. Turn everything off. I'm going to turn everything off. Everything's off now. Yeah, sits in there well. It's not going to fall out. Soldering on. Holds. It sits in its base. I mean, what more do you want? It's working quite well for a cheap soldering iron. I think that's it's a win so far. Just wish I could find the tips, because that giant pointy thing they've given us as a standard tip might be good for someone, but it doesn't really. It's not really something that suits my use. I'll have one more look for the tips and we do one more soldering demonstration. I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I found them. They were in the van on the floor. So you get some more pack of tips. There they are. Some more adaptery things for your soldering iron. I don't know how. Yeah, that's the right one. So yeah, 900M. Let's come down and see. She's cold. Unscrew this one. That bit's not supposed to be flapping about. It's supposed to look like that. It comes with one of these, which is quite interesting. Maybe we should just try swapping it with the one included with the irons. Irons, the tips. Yeah, that's the job. That's the one. And now this piece isn't loose. Good. Which one? Probably go for one that I actually like the look of. Which would be that one. That's about my usual soldering iron tip. It's a chisel point. Not too big, because I don't do much big stuff. That goes on there like that. Do we have to swap it all? Oh, there's the old one. Is that going to fit on there, or do we got to use the new tip? We'll swap out. We'll use the entire kit of tips provided with the iron. Is that going to work? Is it going to reach? You see my problem here? We've got quite a gap between the iron and the thing, but if the nut goes on, if the nut fits, we're going for it. There you go. It's on about half a thread. It's enough for me, that'll do. Let's send it on. Should we try soldering with that one then? Let's turn on the iron. It's coming to temp. It's set at about 400. Oh, it's degrees C on the actual front of the machine. Ta-da! So that we'll get there eventually. There we are. So she's set to about 400. This is fan speed for the blower. It's apparently it's hot now. If I turn it up a bit more, that light will come on solid. Yeah, there you go. Back down to 400. I'm guessing it's just pulsing every now and again when it needs to apply more heat to the iron. Bit of solder. Just tin her up a bit. She's away. Not even in shot. We're down here now, camera. Right, so if we get zoomed in, I'll try and get you somewhere you can actually see some solder joints. So, bing, people won't leave me alone when I'm filming. So we're going to try these ones at this side, using the new iron tip. Stuff everywhere. Right. Still not having it. There she goes. She's away. Still got really big blobby solder joints. I'm trying to work out the way I can do this so you can actually see it. Maybe if I try and solder all cack-handedly like here. You now see the solder joints. Zoom you in again. Knock it out a bit. These ones on the end, soldering around the screen. Bit of heat onto the joint. Solder flow in. Doesn't help, these boards are old. They've been sat around for a long time, so I don't think the actual pads are taking too well. Let's check that there. Right, we'll try something different. Right, here we are. Let's have one of these out. Our little AB boards. Got a few in there to get through, haven't we? Keep busy, that's why I want to soldering off the bench. My pot of diodes is there. Diode pot. They've all been pre-bent. I've actually got a diode forming tool that I've 3D printed. So you put them off on the strip and bend however many there at a time. So, just populate up a board. We do one side. These ones should be alright because they're kept nicely. There we are. Easier if I sit down and do this, but it's easier for you to see what I'm doing this way. Get in the hole. 4. We just put these red diodes in to start with, and that'll do us. There we go. Red diodes on the small AB board, which I've now dropped upside down. Ready to go. All in the right order. So, there they are. They're sticking up. What I'm actually going to do is move the camera. Right. So, the board. Nice solder joints. I haven't got a tip cleaner here. I do. Let's go for this one here. It's not perfect, but nothing in my life ever seems to be perfect. So here we are. 1, 2. Try and keep the board a bit more level. There's a plastic bag wrapped around my fucking iron. Bollocks. We set the smoke alarm off in a minute, you watch. It's gonna happen now. Oh, another one. This is the most awkward soldering I've ever done at this angle, but oh, another one. I think the thing the temperature the soldering iron says is not the actual temperature it's at. So I'm going to knock her up a touch more. I'm waiting for the smoke alarm to go off because it's going to. We are. That side done. I'll try and do this slightly easier side. I'm going to bend those out of the way so we can actually see what I'm doing a bit better. Could have like a jig for doing these, you know, but I'm wondering if we wind her up to say 450, are we going to get a faster soldering time? So now it's warming up a bit more. There we go, the light's gone to flashing again. There we are, that's more like what I'm after. I can see what I'm doing, you can see more of what I'm doing than I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Beautiful. Let's put that back in its holder. Yeah. Not the greatest soldering joints in the world, but they're not the worst. Don't know how well this does for zoomed in shots, but yeah. Hello, there we are. Hello. And on the front side, yeah, I didn't get enough heat on most of them, did I? No flow through. Some of them have, but yeah, they're no good, so I'm going to have to do a bit more work on them. Regardless, the soldering station has done a fantastic job. The hot air side of it works very well. And yeah, generally quite impressed. We'll see how long it lasts. And that is the cheapest soldering iron you can buy off Aliexpress delivered to the UK that actually arrives. Thanks for watching.